Happy New Year, Raptor fans, and what a way to finish off 2020 for the Toronto Raptors as they come away with a victory over the New York Knicks 100-83. I said in the last video, I did not care what the Raptors did in the next game, but I just wanted to see a victory. I even said if they won 75-74, it doesn't matter. Well, it looked like at halftime it might actually get to 75-74. But the Raptors offense finally showed what they're capable of without Pascal Siakam. And you saw it there in the later goings of the fourth quarter. But let's get to this game real quick because it started out pretty good. The Raptors came out good. The offense was cruising. The defensive intensity was there. They were feeling good early on. But we have seen this story before in this year. And then, second half, the offense goes cold, as we've seen a lot this season so far. And at halftime, it's 42-42. No, your offense has been terrible. Luckily, the Knicks can't shoot themselves. They can't shoot at all. And this team needs to find a way to go out in the second half and make that final punch. I always say in my videos, it's not who makes the biggest punch. It's who makes the timely punch is basically who wins the game most of the time. And the Raptors, I wouldn't say made that big punch early on, but they made the big punch at the right time in the fourth quarter. It started to get going in the third, but more or less that final punch was in that fourth quarter, and you win by 17. And people are going to go in the comments, well, you beat the New York Knicks. Do I care? This team won a basketball game. They needed that, not only because, they're now 1-3, they needed it for being up here. And Pascal Siakam, who for disciplinary reasons did not play today because he walked off the court after the last game against Philly because he fouled out. And I'm glad that Nick Nurse and the coaching staff said, hey, get your rear end of the bench. We don't care what you're making. We don't care that you're the number one option on this team. You put your rear end on the bench because you walked away from your team in that game. And the Raptors went out there today and got the W. Now, yes, the opponent obviously isn't the same as the 76ers. It's not the same as all the other opponents the Raptors have played to this point. But you saw some really good performances. Norman Powell got the start instead of Pascal, and a guy who's been horrendous the first 3 games played extremely well. He shot 7 of 13. He knocked down a couple threes. He was shooting with confidence. His active defense, as we all know with Norman Powell, when his defense is locked down tight, as it usually is, it just flows into his offense. You saw today, guys, how explosive he was to the basket. We've seen that all year long, but the inability to finish was the issue. Today, he did that. Lowry, dominant. He was fantastic. Fred VanVleet over the first 4 games has been bipolar as heck. Game 1, he was awful. Game 2, he was electric. Game 3, he was terrible. And then today in Game 4, he dropped 25. He looked comfortable, he looked confident, and he looked like the guy getting paid a boatload of money. Great job by Fred VanVleet. And Kyle Lowry, this guy through the first 4 games at least has been the most consistent player on this team. I think he dropped 20 today. He looked fantastic, did Kyle Lowry. And what we have lacked is some bench productivity. Now that obviously Pascal was sitting, Norman Powell, who usually comes off the bench, got in the starting unit. So you needed to get some extra energy from your bench guys. They tried a Stanley Johnson. They tried a Watanabe. They tried everything at this point. Not much worked until the third quarter when they're like, you know what? This guy hasn't worked. Terrence Davis didn't give you a whole lot there early on. Not much is going on. Hey, Alex Len, you want to start taking threes, bud? And you know what he's going to say? Oh, hell yeah, coach. And Alex Len at one point was 3 of 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. He had 11 points in the game. He looked great out there. And he looked like the guy who was drafted 5th overall in the NBA draft back in 2013. That's very promising to see from a guy like we talked about in the last video. Alex Len wasn't terrible. He looked kind of out of sorts, new offense. Again, he hadn't played in the first 2 games. They kind of just threw him into the fire in that last game. And yeah, he struggled at times, but overall, I'd say he looked pretty good in that Philly game. They put him out there again today, some significant minutes there in the third quarter, and he did not disappoint. Great job by Alex Len, giving the bench boost, giving the bench something to smile about and have a good time about, I was going to say laugh about, but it really wasn't. It was a friendly laugh, of course. And you see Alex Len right after he drains that third one, goes past the bench, he's like this. I'm like, okay, all right, take it easy, big fella. I love it, though. I love the enthusiasm, and that's the type of feeling the Toronto Raptors are used to seeing. Raptor fans especially. The first 3 games, we didn't know what this team looked like. Now, I understand. This is just because you won a game against the New York Knicks does not mean you've turned your season around. It doesn't. But what it does do is it changes the morale in the dressing room. Have you listened to all the post-game stuff and the practice stuff? You know, Lowry's saying, we're 0-2, this is terrible. I've never been like this, and he's swearing. You hear Alex Len today. Yeah, clearly there's something going on in the dressing room. People are, we're a little tight, we're a little angry right now. And that's not what you want to hear. They go out there today, they play a better game, they close the game, period. You win a basketball game, and did you see all the smiles? Did you see all the laughs, the high fives, the good times? That right there is what this team needed. Not as much the win. Of course they wanted the win, and that leads to being happy. But seeing that team out there today, not only playing hard, even though they were shooting the ball abysmal, they only shot 41% from the field for the game. Luckily, the New York Knicks made an entire 3 3-pointers the entire game. That is horrendous. So yeah, did he get some help because the team's garbage? Absolutely. But a win is a win. We will enjoy the win. The team will enjoy this win. And New Year's Eve occurred. People are going to relax, enjoy themselves a little bit. And 2021 is upon us. And hopefully, not just basketball-wise, some great things to come in the world of sports and in the world, period, for 2021. All right? Now, I want to ask you guys real quickly here, what'd you guys do for New Year's Eve? I know this is a really late video, and I just had my New Year's Eve festivities and wanted to enjoy it a little bit. And now I'm here to talk to you guys about it extremely late, but I'm hanging in there for dear life. But I want to talk to you guys about this game. I really did, because it was a game that they didn't play particularly great, but they won a basketball game. And that's all I care about. And Pascal Siakam did not play. Now, don't say, well, you won without Pascal Siakam. You don't need him now. Well, that's not the case, all right? We can't overreact that much, but the fact that we beat the New York Knicks without Pascal Siakam tells you, this team isn't a bad team. They had a really bad start, a terrible first 3 games. Does this win do something to this team and kind of, put them in a new gear and things turn around? Well, only time is going to tell. But all I can say to you guys is this. Enjoy this victory. Enjoy it. Because 2 days from now, on January the 2nd, on Saturday night, 7:30 tip-off, the Raptors face off against the New Orleans Pelicans again. Now, why did I say that? That was the team in Game 1 of the year with Pascal Siakam in the lineup that embarrassed you. Now, I say that they won a game today. So if they go out there against the Pelicans, play a good game, get the win, Pascal plays, then hey, you're 2-3. You're showing a little bit of mojo. You're getting back into the swing of things. Things might turn around. We'll have to wait and see, though, of course. But a win is a win. Enjoy this win over the New York Knicks, guys. Who is your player of the game in this one? That's my question to you. Mine is Norman Powell. I know, that's tough. You know what? That's tough because you have 3 guys who can take it. You could say Norman Powell because you got that extra guy that really hasn't done anything all year long in the first 3 games, who really stepped it up in this game. You could say Fred VanVleet, who, arguably made the big shots in this game to pull this game away. But you could also say Kyle Lowry because you can really say him for every game because he just does what he does. Dropped 20, played great defense, being a pest all the time. Who's your MVP in this game, guys? I'm going to give it to Fred VanVleet just because of the way he played today. Looked aggressive, looked confident, and when Fred VanVleet is those 2 things, look out. All right? If you have another set, maybe you're going to give it to Alex Len. Why not give it to Alex Len? Let me know, guys, in the comments what you thought. I thought Boucher had a little bit of energy at times, missing a lot of threes. OG Anunoby, after the great 20-point performance in the last game against Philly, was awful today. Didn't make a 3, was 1 of 10 from the field. I'm trying to love OG right now, but it's really, really difficult through the first 4 games of the year. Loved him after last game, but the other 3, he has not been very good, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed seeing a win for our Toronto Raptors, smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game, what your New Year's Eve consisted of, all right? Twitter's down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do that great stuff. Also, the Instagram link is down in the description, so follow up there if you've not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Raptors edition in game. What game would it be? Game 5 of the season on Saturday night. Raptors, Pelicans, 7:30 tip-off as Raptors looking for back-to-back victories and more or less just to continue to improve. Was today a pretty game? No, but it was a win, and you have to build on that heading into New Orleans on Saturday night. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.